we will be covering a little bit on products, so that you all can, you also have got, wait, turn your camera, my camera is on. So I hope you all can hear me. You all can see me. See, not so important to see me. See
Yes
the
and yes.
slides. You must be able to see the slides. If for any reason you see my slides are not moving or anything is not clear, please put it in the chat box. Or you can just unmute and let me know. Why is it, Sharon? We can't hear. Why is it the slides are not moving? Because thankfully I've got Zuleika who will be reading whatever is in the chat box. So whatever you want, you can put in the chat box. Okay, you don't have to be very formal here. Feel open. Try to ask as many questions as you want. Because for me, I feel no question is a stupid question. Okay, the more you ask, the better it is. Because not only you will learn in the process, I also learn in the process. Because there are some things out there that could be bugging you because you are in the market. I'm just an academician, I'm just a trainer. Although I've been in this industry for a long time, but yet now with more expectations from our customers, more and more things are being queried, more and more things are asked. Sometimes customers look at us like we don't want to be fair to them. So all these things, anything that you have, don't worry about timing and all. Please feel free to ask. All right. Just call me Sharon will do. You don't really have to be so formal, all right? I would love a two-way participation, interactive training today. So I also can understand what you're looking for. You also can, share with me. I also share with you. You also, if any queries, please share with me. Okay. All right. So I hope with that, I move on. Don't forget to mark your attendance. This is 3 CPD points. So please make sure use the correct agency name, or however Berjaya Sompo has got a method of tracking down and giving you your points. Please make sure you register correctly. All right. And if you have any issues where you key in wrongly or whatever, you talk to your Berjaya Sompo. The slides, they'll share with you all. Don't worry. Okay. I think there's someone asking here for alternative link in the chat box. Ang Xiu Yen, maybe Zuleika can help you with that. Okay, attendee link, or maybe she'll give you all later. Maybe Zuleika will update you all on that, because I don't have the link. I'm only going to do the presentation on the slides. All right. So I hope I'm clear enough. I hope I'm loud and clear enough. If I'm not, please let me know. So good morning once again. Welcome. I see 200 over you here, which is amazing. That means you are serious about your business. Okay. But remember one thing before I start, don't always think that, oh, I'm here because I want the CPD points. That should not, of course, that's important. All right. You have to fulfill your CPD requirements. But you must also remember we are here to learn. All right, we're here to learn. So let's learn from each other. All right, and ask as many questions as you want. All right, this is the first time I'm doing a topic called Secrets to Capture SME. I do a lot of training in the industry, but this is the first time Berjaya Sompo came to me and said, we want to do something different. Product anybody can do. We want to do Secrets to Capture SME. So hope it goes well. Hope at the end of the day you really learn some secrets on how to capture SME. Because SMEs are very important in the market. You, of course, you have big companies, global big risk, but the majority that are contributing to the economy of the country, SMEs, create jobs for people, create income for consumers, and they run all kinds of businesses that meet the needs of the customers. So SMEs are very crucial part of our economy and our industry. So that's why we thought they are, if you look at Berjaya Sompo, they create very nice, very good products for all these SMEs because we want to make sure that they get what they want as well, adequate protection and all that. So that's why we chose SMEs, not a global risk. There's a reason why we chose to do SMEs. Or at least that's the reason why Berjaya Sompo decided let's look at SMEs as a priority. Okay, guys, so without much ado, I'm going to start. I've got some of your names down as I was looking at the list as you started logging in. I started writing down some names just because I just want to communicate with you all. So I've got some names with me that I don't have the 250 names, but I got a few names recorded down. So if you don't ask me question, then I ask you question. Okay. All right. What are our highlights for today? Why Vijay Supo Insurance Berhad wants to grow this type of business. I'm not going to cover the products because the products, I'm sure most of you would have already know what the products are, but I'll cover a bit because before you actually want to capture the market, you must know the products. Okay, so some interesting products that Vijay Sopo is launching, Sopo SME, Flexi SME, but I will be just giving an overview of these products, because before you sell something, you must know what you're selling, right? If you don't know what you're selling, how are you going to convince your customers? Not only convince your customers, tell them about the truth about the products. I think that is important. Okay, so I will cover a bit here and then not much on products. Today is not product knowledge training. All right. And then with that, after I've gone, I look at the certain sections on what are the challenges we have, what are the objections we have from our customers, what are the rules and regulations, how do you identify an SME? These are the few things that I'm going to cover in today's training. And if anything you are not clear, please ask. Because if you don't ask me, I seriously will not know whether you want to know anything or not. So please be interactive. You can always talk to me. Don't feel shy. Don't feel, am I asking a stupid question? No, no, no. There's no such thing. No question is a stupid question. Every question is a valid question. Okay. So I know some of you are asking for the link. So I think Zuleika has very kindly put in the message. Don't worry, guys. Registration link will be given by Zuleika every 15 minutes. So if you have forgotten to register, please register. Otherwise, you may not get your CPD points, which is also important for today. All right. Okay. So that is what I will be going through. And if I didn't cover something that has been bugging you, please ask. Please ask, because you all are in the market, you meet a lot of customers of yours, they ask you a lot of questions. So if something has been bugging you all this while, you can't give a direct answer or the correct answer to your client, please ask. We will share together. All right.
Sharon,
Okay. Now
I'm
this,
just
yes,
checking in with you. The products that you just gonna briefly share is Flexi SME only, right?
a few lah. Just
Okay.
want to tell them lah what they
All
need
right.
to know about
Okay.
the
All right.
products.
Okay then.
Not really detail all the products. No, no, no.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Zuleika. Don't worry, I won't emphasize a lot that, like you told me, you products. I mean, you're also doing the training, so most of it has already been covered. So I will just give a, because you see, in order any product, if you want people to sell, they must understand the product first. So that's why I want to highlight, that is what I want to highlight to them, not the product. Don't worry, yeah. Okay, so our session today, why SME market is so important. Okay, because if you notice our economy, there are a lot of SME businesses now. Right? SME business is not the billion-dollar business, the big ones, or not the small, very tiny retail business. It's the mediocre business, which there's a limit. I'll show you what are the normally what we classify as SMEs, just a guideline, and why they're important. Because if you look at our economy, these SMEs are the ones that are really contributing a lot to the economy of the country. Yeah. If there's no contribution to the economy of the country, then who will suffer? Including us, We all, you and I, we all also are working. Okay. And if the economy of the country is not good, how are we going to survive? All right. So they play a very crucial role in the economy of the country. Yeah. Then I'll talk a little bit about SME rules and SME solutions. Section 3, where it's very important. I'm going to focus on sales techniques, things that you need to do to improve your sales, and how you handle objections. Definitely got objections, because insurance. Not many people know insurance that well because it's very technical. So usually when they are first time trying to understand what they need to buy, why they need to buy. Sometimes they're also forced to buy, right? Like, motor insurance is compulsory in Malaysia. So whether they like motor insurance or not, also they have to buy. If not, without that, they will not be able to get their road fund license. Then they cannot drive their cars on the roads. Then they will get fined and summoned, right? So that's why sometimes our consumers, they have objections because they feel they are not fairly treated. Like, when you take a bank loan for your property, for your house, you need to buy not only fire insurance, not only property insurance, you also need to buy life insurance, right? MRTA and all that. So sometimes customers feel they are not fairly treated. So when they feel they are not fairly treated, they will have objections. So I'm going to discuss some of these objections with you all. I'm not saying that what I'm teaching you is the best way to handle it, but it's a guideline on how you can handle it. Okay, then after that, I have got some recap quiz. Well, I'll ask you not many questions, because our time also is only 3 hours, right? So we cannot be having the luxury of so much of time as well. I prepared some quiz questions for you all to recap whether what we have covered the important parts, like how to handle objection, how to handle complaints, and all those, a few things. What are the normal type of objections that we get? So maybe that will just be a recap for me to talk to you all and also for you all to talk back to me. Don't be so quiet, guys. I got 344 people. I need some input, lah, please. Okay, then I will share a few case studies. Case studies in this market, where talk about some of these case studies will talk about how customers they compare. They will maybe one of them will just come and tell you, why is it my neighbor can claim, but when I buy from Berjaya Sumpo I cannot claim. So I'm going to share a few case studies that happen in the market. So at least you are aware when customers share those kind of things with you, you can highlight some things to them, why it happens like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be our 4 sessions for today. Okay. If you need anything else, you have to let me know. You can put it in the chat box or you can just unmute and talk to me, no problem. But the thing is about unmuting is because the crowd is big. I've got about 350 now. So if the crowd is big, sometimes it becomes too complicated. So better you all put in the chat box. As I go along, I will go through the chat box. Even if I don't, then Zuleika will read what is in the chat box and we will try to give you the answers. All right? Okay, this session is 3 hours. So we don't really have a very long break. We will have probably a short break. I'm sure some of you still need to go to toilet and all that. Maybe at about 11:30, 11:45, I'll try to give you a short break where you can go to the toilet and all those things. A very short break, maybe about a 10-minute break, because the session is shorter. So I hope you understand. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing for today. If you want to know anything more, please put in the chat box. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Please do that. Okay. So hope we have a good 3 hours today. I'm hoping it will be enjoyable 3 hours where you will learn, I will also learn. It doesn't mean a trainer is not learning, Trainer is not a superhuman being who knows everything, right? Because the market also keeps changing, We also try to keep tab with what is happening in the market. But since you all are in the market, you are every day in the market, this is your job, so there are things which you see and we don't see, as academicians, as trainers. So if there is something that is very popular in the industry, so disturbing, so complicated, please share with me, okay? Please share with me. So it will benefit me, it will also benefit our group of 300 over people that we have today. Yeah? All right, so let me go. Okay. What are the learning outcomes? At the end of attending this 3-hour program today with me, all right, hopefully you'll carry this back with you. I know CPD is important. I know the 3 hours are important, but at the same time, we don't want to be just sitting here and wasting our 3 hours just because we want the points. We also want to learn something and take back, right? So, what are we going to go back at the end of the day and say that these 3 hours were fruitful? This is what I managed to capture today. First, learn and understand how to venture into SME insurance, how to sell, how to grow your portfolio by selling to SMEs, because that's where the money is. That is the biggest group of people we have to sell to, right? And then, of course, like I said, I'm not going to go through the products. I will just give a gist on the products because when you sell, you must be able to give a clear description of the product, both to our existing clients and also our new customers. You see, existing clients, sometimes they've been buying with us, but as our industry grows, I'm sure Bajaj Sopo is coming up with new and better products, which you all should know. So maybe once there's the launch of a new product and you understand the product, you can encourage your existing customers to buy new products or to upgrade their products. So I'm going to cover a little bit on that as well. And then when we have products, whatever products Bajaj Sampo have, you must know the benefits and importance of the products. Because the client is definitely going to ask you. After all, there are 18, 19 other insurers in the market. What is so special about your product? Is it? I'm sure they ask you that question, right? So we must be able, although I'm not covering products today, we must, as we go on our daily sales, we must be able to differentiate between the benefits of our existing products, our new products. Why the customer should think of changing their product or buy new products. So these are the learning outcomes that after today's 3-hour session is a very short session, actually, if you ask me. It's 3 hours, but I hope you will pay attention. I hope you will listen, and I hope you will take something back at the end of the day. Right? Okay. Now, overview, understand, and focus the products you want to grow. Now, you must also remember what products you want to grow. Are you now, of course, today we're talking about SME products. So our intention for today's training is we want to grow SME products. So we must know first and foremost what are the SME products available, and then why you like it. I'm sure you also like certain products, right? Why you think people should buy the product, you must know. Okay. Then from there, we can do upselling. Now, upselling means upgrade the product. Okay. Last time, example, last time you sell PA, personal accident, you only got death and permanent disablement, right? Most olden days products. Now, when you sell PA, There is so many things the PA product can give the customer, right? So maybe the customer has bought PA from you. So many PAs, huh? But if you know what your new product has to offer now, then you must try to upsell, sell a better coverage product. Like now you got coma lah, you got kidnap lah, whatever you have in your products. I'm not going to go in detail through the products, huh? You can do upselling. So in that way, it also helps you to grow your SME product. Do upselling, upgrade. Ask the client to upgrade their products. Huh? You see, our economy keeps changing and changing and changing. More and more risks are coming in, right? Now we have got a problem with our climatic change, right? The heat wave. So many people die because of the heat wave. So this one we never see before last time, right? So what I was seeing yesterday's news, medical claims for life insurance companies have grown by 9.4 million. We are not live lah, but just want to let you know lah, that medical claims are also becoming more and more because more and more sicknesses and diseases are coming. Like, I mean, I've lived in this world for so long. I've never seen a heat wave hit people where people tend to die. So that's why I hope you all can understand, all right, why things need to change. So that's upselling. That's how our products keep changing. Okay, cross-selling. Cross-selling is different from upselling. Cross-selling is your client has a certain product, but you want to introduce a new product because of his nature of business, he needs the new product. So you do cross-selling. So there's two ways in which you can grow your SME business. You can capture your SMEs by doing upselling and cross-selling. Okay, all right. Now you got to decide which category can you grow. Okay, are you talking about moto? Are you talking about non-moto? Of course, we don't do live. So we have to decide which category we want to grow. Of course, we are focusing more on growing non-motor business lah, because motor business is compulsory, mandatory. Everybody already got it. So we are more interested in focusing on non-motor. And actually, when I was going through, before this training, when I was going through all Bajaj Sompo products, I really found some of the products that have come into the market to be really good, very good coverage and all, but I'm not here to do products, so I'm just going to go more on how to capture and how to handle objections. Okay, now business insights, Sompo SME. Uh, why Vijaya Sompo is introducing these SME products? Zuleika, is it a bit noisy, Zuleika? Because my neighbor's house, remember I told you that it caught fire? They are
Yeah,
doing some renovation. Is it noisy?
not
No,
noisy, but at a, there will be moments where your voice cannot be is
heard.
not loud and clear enough lah. But sometimes only,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. I hope it does not really. I hope it's just me. And if it does disturb everyone else, I hope it's not very much disturbing lah.
If it is, let me know. Then I probably will move to another area lah. Because my training room, this is my training room. So they are doing their back as well. But if it is, let me know. Then I'll move to the other side. Okay, because I don't know what you all are hearing. You know lah, mic is on. All right. So if it is very disturbing, guys, please let me know. Then I will move to the other side. You want me to move now also, I can move, no problem. But you must let me know if it's disturbing. Okay.
Not really
Now,
that much. It doesn't really bother that much now. So I
okay,
guess
okay.
you should just
I'll
move
just
on.
leave it first. Leave it first. And if anything, then let me know lah. Okay. Bajaya Sompo introduces a lot of SME products. Okay, because they try to make it easier to understand business insights are made easy by introducing this SME products. Okay. So why we're introducing this product is because we discover after studying the market, Berjaya Sompo has discovered what business owners across different industries need to consider before securing the right insurance coverage for their business. There's so many varieties of businesses, SMEs, it can be government, it can be factory, it can be retail, so many different types. But every SME needs different type of coverage. So that's why we come up with these SME products to meet the different needs of different customers. So we're trying to make it easy for our consumers. Our consumers are SMEs, to be able to purchase the right product. Okay, all right. Now, when a business suffers a loss, first we must understand why they need to buy, right? When a business suffers a loss, whether it's fire, flood, or theft, whatever product, the aftermath, after it happens, is rarely just about numbers. It is about disruption to your business, uncertainty, and the emotional toll of watching something built with years of hard work suddenly go to a halt. Suddenly, so customers feel very discouraged. So they have a very frustrating experience. So that's why we believe that they can avoid this suffering this frustrating experience if they buy insurance. Insurance will help them after loss. Okay. Much of that anxiety that customers have stems from misunderstanding how insurance works and what actually affects the outcome of a claim. You see, our normal perception for years in this industry has been it's very difficult to make an insurance claim. But it's not really difficult to make an insurance claim. Or they will say insurance companies sometimes are very unreasonable. That's the objection, which actually is not. So that's why when I go to case studies, I will share some of this with you all. All right. One of the most common misconceptions that our customers have among business owners is that insurance company always find way not to pay, which is not true. Okay. Some believe insurers intentionally delay claims by repeatedly asking for documents or that settlements are based on arbitrary percentages. We don't pay full. Okay, this is a conception that people have, They will always tell you this. Oh, yeah, what for buying insurance? Then at the end of the day, I can't get my full claim. The claim will be delays. You want so many documentations and all that. But they fail to realize that we are not charitable organizations. We insurers cannot do charity. We must make sure we pay claims that are valid claims, and that's why we need all these things. So we must try to explain this to our clients properly. All right. So sometimes, because the clients have this misunderstanding, they tend to inflate claims. They tend to ask for more, bigger amount. Although they lost lesser, they want more. Then when they come in and submit fraudulent claims to us that are more than what they have lost, this only complicates things further, right? So you must always tell your client, claim exactly for what you have lost. Then in that way, there'll be no delay. We will pay you as soon as all your documents have been submitted. Because we are also monitored by our regulator, which is Bank Negara. We cannot simply pay claims. So we have to let the client understand why we are asking for all these things. All right. It's not that we like to ask all these things, but procedures are procedures which have to be followed. Now, the perception that our consumers normally have, that insurance companies always find ways not to pay, is deeply ingrained in public sentiment. The people feel like that. Everybody, you see, they're always complaining to Bank Negara the premium is expensive, the claims are not paid adequately. Even now, until now, there's so much of complaints. Because why, public sentiment. That's what the public feeling is. It often comes from second-hand stories rather than first-hand experience. So that's why the case studies that I'm going to share with you is second-hand stories. It's not first-hand. People sometimes, just because they cannot claim for whatever reason, they create fantasies why we don't want to pay, that we don't want to pay, which is not true. So when I go to my case studies later, I'll share one or two such cases with you all where there's a lot of second-hand stories. Insurance company don't want to pay. Now, I have worked in this industry for many, many, many years. And let me tell you, insurance companies, if possible, they would love to pay claims fast. The faster we pay the claim, the less we pay. Why would we want to delay a claim if it's a genuine claim? The reason why sometimes claims are not paid is because they are not genuine. They are fraud. Right? Now, I'll share some of these case studies with you later. Now, many of these stories come from peers or family members whose claims were denied, but without the full context. Sometimes they don't realize why their claim is not payable because they don't understand policy terms. They don't know that it's an exclusion under the policy. That's why the claim is not paid. So they become very unhappy with us. Say we don't want to pay. I give you a simple one. Your motor policy says you cannot drink and drive, isn't it? So if you drink and drive and you want to make a claim, of course we can't pay because there's an exclusion under the policy, right? Like your PA policy will say we don't pay if you commit suicide, isn't it? So that's an exclusion. We don't pay, it's not because we don't want to pay. We don't pay because it's a policy exclusion. So you, our frontline business partners, the 400 of you here today, you must be able to tell your clients why the claim is not payable. Because if you don't explain properly, you will have a problem later. So we don't want to have a problem later. So that's why, although we are not doing product knowledge here today, but understanding the product and exclusions is very important. And we must be able to justify why certain things we cannot do or we cannot be. Okay, and then also we need documentation. All right, we have to keep proper records. If you tell me that you bought the item for 500,000, give me the purchase invoice. If you can give me, I'm talking about Mimi's, I'm talking about I'm Berjaya Sumpo. When you give me the correct purchase invoice or the photograph or video of the insured property, I will pay you accordingly. Why wouldn't Berjaya Sumpo want to pay you accordingly? At the end of the day, if the client goes to court, also we become liable, right? So nowadays, we like to keep proper documentation. If can, you also work together with your client. Tell your client, please keep the purchase invoice or give us a copy we can keep in our file, photograph of the insured property. And if now with technology, there are so many digital backups. If the client can give us, we must keep. Then it's easier to pay a claim. There'll be no misunderstanding. We don't want this kind of misunderstandings. So we must work together with our consumers. We must be transparent, provide honest, timely disclosures throughout the claims process to ensure a fair and efficient assessment. So once the client, you see, the client normally sees it at 2 times when they buy the product from us. The next time they'll be seeing us is when they're making a claim. Isn't it? That's when they come face to face with us. Of course, when they buy the product, usually there's not much of an issue. You explain the product they buy. The issue normally comes when there's a claim. All right, we're not happy. They say we're not fair. We are not competent enough. So that's why it's important. Once they report the claim to us, if can, we must keep updating them on the progress of the claim. All right. Why certain things cannot be paid? Why we are not paying? Maybe under insurance, maybe over insured, maybe under insured. We must explain. So we must be transparent. All right. Please try to be transparent with your clients. Be open with them. Tell them the truth. If it's not payable, don't wait until 2 years later and tell them it's not payable, and then they get very upset. If it's not payable, tell them it's not payable straight away. Don't give them hope it will be paid, it will be paid, it will be paid, and then last minute, after 6 months, you're going to tell them it's not payable. That is also not good. So we have to be transparent, huh? Because transparency between you and your client builds trust. When all information is presented clearly from the start, the process moves much more smoothly. Imagine, always think to yourself, what happens if I want to make a claim? How will I feel? Isn't it? So that is important. Always put yourself in the shoes of the claimant. If you put yourself into the shoes of the claimant, you will be more transparent. You will be able to explain to them better because you know the consequences. So be very, very transparent, be very, very open. Huh? Okay. Sometimes, what happens is whether we are agents or whether we are insurers or what, sometimes, whenever there's a claim, we feel very unhappy. We don't like claims, right? However, what is our business? Our business is to pay claims. So we cannot run away from the situation when there's a claim. Be transparent, be open, be clear. Pay or payable or not payable, either way. Be transparent with the client. That's very important. Huh? And also, sometimes when we sell the product, we don't tell the client about underinsurance. All right. They overinsure also, they lose money. They underinsure, they will not get the full claim. So this one I've noticed, so many years I've been doing training, the major problem is underinsurance. Because you know why? We don't tell them when they're buying. All right. So when they underinsure, they cannot get the full claim, right? So they become very unhappy. Why my market value is 500,000, you're only paying me 300? They get unhappy, right? That is because they underinsured. So we must explain to them the hidden risk of underinsurance when you are selling, not when there's a claim. By the time you try to explain to them when there's a claim, they will get very disappointed. Imagine if you are in their shoes. You will get very disappointed, right? Okay. While most SMEs understand the importance of insurance, many underestimate the consequence of underinsurance. What is underinsurance? When the sum insured, the actual sum insured that they buy does not reflect the actual value of the assets. So this is something that I want to keep on knocking into everyone's head. When you're selling the product, if you can, better you get the invoice, the receipt or whatever, or at least go and see the item. Otherwise, if it's underinsured, the problem will arise inevitably, which is not what we want. Then our reputation is gone. Because consumers being remember I told you the first hand and second hand. This is second hand information. The consumer who has suffered under insurance will next time say, you won't get your full claim. But they don't realize the reason why they didn't get their full claim is because they are underinsured. All right. So underinsurance often happens because business owners forget to review their coverage or deliberately declare lower sum insured to save on premiums. This is what someone shared. Okay. Now, they want to save premium, so they underinsure. Have we done our job by telling the client, you can save premium, but when it comes the claim, when there's a claim, when loss occurs, we will apply the principle of average, meaning the payout is proportionate to the declared value. So this formula, please keep it with you always. Sum insured divided by the actual market value times the loss is what amount they can claim. So they better insure adequately. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to claims. Please remember that. Huh? Okay. Now, so that's the formula. Keep this, remember this formula. All right. So let me give you an example of how this works. If your factory is insured for 6 million, the client insured for 6 million, but it is actually worth 10 million. He want to save premium, he or she, he want to save premium, so they insure 6 million instead of 10 million. But when there's a loss, his claim, we also pay him only 60%. Because you pay premium only for 60%. Right? So when it comes to claim, the client is going to be very, very, very unhappy. Why am I not getting my full claim? How am I going to continue my business? So explain. All right. So the client recall a real case involving a factory that was rented to multiple tenants. After a fire destroyed the building, it was discovered that insurance only covered 60% of the reconstruction costs because they insure only 60%. All right. The owner had to bear the remaining 40% on a 10 million reconstruction cost. The owner had to pay 4 million out of his own pocket. You think he's going to be happy? If you are the claimant, will you be happy? Definitely not, right? Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Why are you telling me now? Major issue. So our advice must be very simple. Okay. View premiums as risk protection, not as expense. So tell the client, when you pay a premium, don't say this is an expense. Of course, it's an expense. But think of it as protection. How much protection do I want? So that's why if you have seen the renewal notice, I hope you read your renewal notices. The most important thing in the renewal notice that we always tell our client is, please review your sum insured on renewal. For any risk, because construction cost goes up, property cost goes up, property value goes up. So every year they have to review their sum insured. There are some items where the sum insured will go lower, like your auto vehicle and all. So both also are equally important. On renewal, that's why your renewal, if you have not read the renewal notice, try to read the renewal notice. See what is written on the renewal notice. Please review your sum insured. So if the customer regularly review ongoing basis, the sum insured reflects the true replacement of the value of assets, protecting businesses from unnecessary shocks. Everybody gets very even you and I for that matter, when there's a claim and we cannot claim the full amount, right? We all get very disappointed, right? Whatever claim line, so that's why this is unnecessary shocks. Every renewal, you must advise your client the consequences of underinsurance. They also cannot overinsure, If they buy more than the market value also, we can only pay them the market value. So remember, insurer will pay sum insured or market value, whichever is lower, not higher. So you must tell that client. No need to pay extra premium. You're just wasting your money. Because the principle of indemnity says we can only compensate you exactly what you have lost. You cannot make money out of insurance. We are not a charitable organization. We must tell the client from day one. Okay, so they must regularly review. Sometimes halfway during the year, they might buy new property, they might do extension on the building. All this they must declare ongoing. Because if they don't declare and then there's claim, they will suffer under insurance. Okay, so reviews should be done when there's a significant change in risk as well. Example, Halfway through the period of insurance, the client does an extension to his building. They must let us know. So halfway, not even year end yet, no, not even policy end period, we must review the significant change. Sometimes they change occupation. The occupation can be more hazardous, right? So don't always think, oh, never mind lah. We will wait for the renewal, then we will decide that the business is adequately insured. No, throughout any changes, they must let us know. Like, during this pandemic, one case study I share with you while I'm still here. During the pandemic, we all work from home. Now we're starting to work from home again. I heard government is starting today. So when we started working from home, what happened was all these people who have property that is insured under house owners, householders, they live there, they all balik kampung. So when they balik kampung, this house, you see a lot of this now those are SMEs, you see a lot of this kind of risk, this SME, they convert the house that they were staying. Last time they buy house owner, householder. Now they convert it to tuition center, bridal parlor. Some convert it even to restaurants, shop, small restaurant, SMEs. These are examples of SMEs. But they forgot to change the policy. They still buy residential property, house owner, householder cannot. They must convert it to fire policy, commercial risk, because it's no longer residential risk, it is house owner, household. This happened a lot after the pandemic. So customers become very unhappy because if they buy house owner, householder, they cannot claim. Occupation change. And we have seen that, we have seen a lot of SMEs coming up during the pandemic because they all don't stay here anymore. They go back to their hometowns. So their property that they have here, some big houses, they convert. They convert to showrooms, they convert to beauty parlor, they convert to tuition center. But you and I, who are very important to these clients, we never explain to them that they have to change the risk to commercial fire. Otherwise, claim cannot pay. It's no longer residential risk, So that's why don't always look at the risk only when the renewal comes. If there's any changes halfway through, we have to pass endorsement, rechange. They must let us know. Otherwise, the claim is not payable. I have noticed, especially after the pandemic, this is a case studies that I'm sharing with you, really happened. A lot of people couldn't make claims, because they still maintain the house owner householder policy. They never changed to commercial risk. So this one mostly SMEs, why I am focusing on this area, because these are mostly SME business. So please be mindful. That is what we mean by why SMEs, we must be extra careful. Then they become very upset with us. Say we don't pay the claim. Our reputation one. Whether we don't pay, they are wrongly insured. You and I am referring myself today to as Bajaj Sompola. You as, of course, our business partners, Bajaj Sompo business partners, are the people who know. So that's why we must explain to them. Don't wait until renewal. Not, a lot. Seriously, a lot. You pass by housing estates, especially landed property and all. Look at how they've converted the houses to business. So they must insure adequately under SME product. Please remember that. Anybody got any questions, guys? Anything you want to ask? No? All good, huh? All right. Thank you so much. Okay, I like this. Nor Mazul, you raise your hand up. Yes, you can also give me emoji, no problem. Yes, you like anything?
Yeah, that's a question. But Sharon, the
Mm,
one that I mentioned earlier, it's not the noise of that a house is making
being
renovation that you
renovated.
hear,
What
but
noise is it?
it's more of your voice is sometimes here and there we're missing, not really missing, but it's very faint.
Why, yeah?
So
Why, yeah?
I'm not
Let
really
me
sure
see.
if you
Why,
are able to, you mentioned earlier, move yourself to somewhere else, perhaps the line. I think it's the line connection. Perhaps
Yes.
that
Okay.
that could be
Let
it.
me let me finish this first. After tea break, I'll move to the other room.
All right,
Line
okay.
connection.
There's a
Apakah you
question.
need find some? Yes. What's the question? Let me see. What's
The
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 question?
question the question from Wong Chun Xiong. He
Uh,
asked, can the insured pay back the premium? Change of class business after claim happen.
no, no, no. Not after claim happened, but in between. Let me see what's your question here. My voice is sinking. Why? Is it my throat? Okay, wait. I'll try to move to the other side. Maybe it's the location.
It's not your voice, but I think it's the
Mm,
connection, so that
mm,
that's why the
mm,
the
mm,
line is pretty sometimes it's faint, but then it's good, but then it faint again. Yeah.
Yes, wait, hold on. Let me see. My volume is maximum or not. Okay, okay. All right. I maximize the volume and see. Later, after tea break, I'll move to the other room lah. And you all let me know still. Okay. Sinking in the water. Wong, Wong Chun Siong, I like your comment. Sometimes your voice like sinking in the water. Am I still sinking? No, a bit blur. I think it's the line lah sometimes. Okay, never mind. I'll change room after this. Okay. Okay. All right. The question from Wong Chun Siong, Song here again. Can the insured pay back the premium, change the class of business? No, after claim cannot. After claim cannot. Must do before. Pass an endorsement. Then only can claim. Now it's good. Okay, thank you. I think it's my volume lah. I forgot to put maximum volume. Sorry. Okay, now can. Okay, if you all got any problem, put it in the chat box and then I move to the other side. Because I use Unify. Normally Unify so far so good lah. But I don't know lah. Today sometimes. Okay, now good. Thank you. Wong Jun Song. Okay, so Wong, you understand? Cannot. After claim cannot. Once. Okay. Thank you so much, Con. A con quick far. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Okay. So you must always remember, if can, during don't wait until renewal. If you can, please remind your clients, as per the principle of utmost good faith, they must disclose to us any changes to the risk before a claim. Once claim happen already, sorry, we cannot. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Wong. Now it's good, Wong, okay, all right. Okay, Con, okay, all right. So let me know if anything is not good. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. I think you know why. I last night was having a class, so I reduced the volume a bit. So I forgot this morning to increase back the volume. Thank you for highlighting. Okay, now good, Okay, so anyway, if it's not good, then I'll have to move back lah to my normal. Where am I now? Last slide sudah hilang pula. Okay, let me stop the slide again. Okay, can you all see the slides, guys? Zoom, nampak tak
Nak,
slide?
tak ada pun, not yet.
Okay, now okay, we have to start sharing again lah. Hold on, let me go back to my link here. Continue on this plus. Okay, so like I'm going to log in again. You help me to, you log me in. I go back and go in again one more time.
Yeah, you can just come back in.
Okay, can you see me?
Oh, if not, I can still see you. If not, guys, and Sharon, let's just take a 10 minutes break then.
Okay, we'll
Can
take
we
a
do
10
that?
minutes break.
We'll
Yeah,
just
I'll
take
leave now.
yeah,
10
just take a
minute break.
10
I'll
minutes
see.
break.
I'll see you all back at 10:45.
I'll show a video.
Ah,
After the video ends, then
ah,
we will come back after it. All right,
okay, all right.
but
Okay.
approximately around 10 minutes, yeah?
I log out first. I log out first. I log
Thank
out, then I
you. I'll
come
see you guys then.
in. Okay.
In every corner of the world, millions of people carry dreams in their hearts. Dreams of freedom, success, and a better life. But most of these dreams die before they even begin. Why? Because people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect amount of money, or the perfect opportunity. But what if I told you that the perfect moment is now, and you don't need much to start? Listen to this real story carefully, because it might change your thinking forever. In a busy city, there lived a young man named James. He was 28 years old and worked at a small factory where he earned just enough to survive. Every month, after paying rent and buying food, he had almost nothing left. His friends often told him, "James, you work so hard, but you're still poor. When will your life change?" James had no answer. Deep inside, he also wondered the same thing. One day, while returning from work, James saw an old man sitting on the roadside selling fresh juice. The man looked poor, but his small juice cart was always surrounded by customers. James stopped and bought a glass. The juice was delicious, fresh, and different from what big shops sold. While drinking, James asked, "Uncle, how long have you been doing this?" The old man smiled and said, "Almost 15 years, son. This small cart feeds my whole family." That night, James kept thinking about the old man. If someone with just a small cart could survive and even smile, then why was he so afraid to try? But then fear hit him. I have no money to start a business. I don't know anything about business. What if I fail? These thoughts kept spinning in his mind. But somewhere deep inside, a small voice whispered, "At least try." The next morning, James made a decision. He would start something, no matter how small. But what could he do? He had only $200 saved, which was nothing for a big business. He walked around his neighborhood and observed carefully. He noticed that every morning people rushed to work without eating proper breakfast. Street vendors sold cheap food, but it wasn't healthy. Shops sold good food, but it was too expensive. There was a gap in the market. James thought deeply. What could he make that was healthy, affordable, and quick? Then he remembered his mother's recipe for energy bars made from oats, honey, nuts, and dried fruits. They were tasty, healthy, and could be made easily at home. He decided this would be his product. With his $200, James bought basic ingredients and simple packaging materials. He started making energy bars in his small kitchen every night after work. The first batch was only 50 bars. He didn't quit his job because he needed the salary to survive. Early morning, before going to the factory, he went to nearby offices and small shops offering free samples. Most people ignored him. Some didn't even look at him. But James didn't stop. After 2 weeks of rejection, finally, a small coffee shop owner tasted his bar and said, "This is actually good. Leave 20 bars with me. If they sell, I'll order more." James felt a spark of hope. Within 3 days, all 20 bars were sold. The coffee shop called him back and ordered 50 more. Slowly, word spread. One shop became 5 shops. 5 became 15. But James faced many problems. Sometimes ingredients ran out. Sometimes packaging tore. Once, a whole batch got spoiled because he made a mistake in the recipe. He lost money, but he didn't give up. Each failure taught him something valuable. He learned to manage inventory, to negotiate prices with suppliers, and to maintain quality consistently. After 6 months, James was making enough profit to match his factory salary. He faced a big decision. Should he quit his job and focus completely on his business? It was risky, but he took the leap. He left the factory and rented a small production space. He hired 2 helpers and bought better equipment. His production increased, and so did his sales. 1 year later, James was supplying his energy bars to over 100 locations across the city. His small kitchen business had grown into a proper company. But success didn't make him arrogant. He remembered his struggle. He started training young people from poor backgrounds, teaching them his business model so they could also start their own small ventures. Today, 3 years after starting with just $200, James owns a successful food business. He employs 15 people and earns more than he ever imagined. But the most important thing he gained was not money. It was confidence, knowledge, and the proof that anyone can change their life if they truly decide to act. From James's story, we learn several powerful lessons. First, you don't need a lot of money to start. You need an idea that solves a real problem. Second, rejection and failure are not your enemies. They are your teachers. Third, success doesn't come overnight. It comes from consistent effort, even when no one believes in you. And finally, the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk at all. So if you have a dream sitting inside your heart, don't let fear kill it. Start small. Start today. Start with whatever you have. Because the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not talent or money. It's simply that successful people started when others were still making excuses. If this story inspired you, remember it and share it with someone who needs to hear it. To everyone dreaming of a better life, your journey begins the moment you take the first step. Best wishes to all of you.
Hi, I'm Ern. I'm from PJ Motor.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Hi, I'm Ern. I'm from PJ Motor. I've been in the business for more than 25 years. I'm currently running a motorbike shop. We do accessories, sales, service, spare parts, and also an insurance agent. For me, insurance is very important because it protects my business. By having insurance for my company, it helps boost my company recovery and avoid closure. Say, for example, if there's fire or theft, I'm covered. It also gave my staff medical needs, and also I can have a peace of mind to run the business.
Hi, I'm Keith from King House Apparel. We have been around for 5 years now, and we are selling men's suits, formal wear, and tuxedo. We have total 4 branches in Malaysia, which is 2 in KL, 1 in JB, and 1 in Penang. Insurance is like a safety net. Running a business is come with all kind of risks like theft, accidents. With insurance, we don't have to worry about if something goes wrong.
Okay, we are back. How about you, Sharon? Are you here? You're on mute.
Yes, I'm here. Very nice videos. I've been watching it and enjoying it. I'm
Oh.
here, I'm here.
Okay.
Very good
Thank
stories.
you. All right. Let's load up your slide.
Okay, let me put up my slide. Mm. Is it coming?
Seeing your
Should.
screen, not your slide.
Oh, I'm sharing my screen on my slide. Okay, let me share my slide. You stop sharing the screen. Let me share the slides. Where's the slides? Okay, now can see, huh?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, all right, is that good? Slideshow. Let me go back. Okay, guys. I think very good videos Suleika has posted. Very interesting. That is SMEs. Yes. Really, really good videos. So thank you, Suleika, for sharing those videos with us.
Thank you. Are you able to see the chat box? There were
Yes,
questions. There were questions before we go on a break just now.
let me see. What are the questions? No, it says good music. Share the link.
No,
That's
you
all.
have
I
to
don't
go
see anything
further
else.
up from
Further
Ashley
up.
and from Liwa Agency.
Okay, let me look at it. Wait, go down slowly, one by one. Okay. Thank you for, okay, let me see, let me see the other questions. Okay, Ashley's, yeah. Okay, Ashley's, yeah, if there's a total loss, thank you for the question. If it's a total loss, then we don't use the formula, we pay the sum assured, which is also lower than the actual value, lah. Are you there? Ashley's, yeah? We will pay the sum assured, no using the formula to calculate if it's a total loss. We will pay the sum assured, which is actually under insurance lah. Then to get back the property, they still need to bring the additional cash. Okay, there's one more here. Madam Sharon, okay, that one, okay. We have already, I hope we have sorted that out now.
Below Ashley's question just now.
Below Ashley's question. Below Ashley's question is the sum insured, right? What is the next question? What is it? Let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me go back up there again. Okay, all right, all right. There's something from Tong Yu King. No, he just said good morning. Good morning, good morning. All right, all good
Look
morning.
further down, further down.
Further down, wait, hold on. Let me go down. Let me go down more slowly.
Oh, I'll share the question to you. Is that
Okay,
better?
sure. Yeah, I think
He
the
said,
faster.
Liwa Agency say, good morning. I wish to refer if it's a chop lot. Upstairs, they use as owner, own
Mm.
dwelling or rent to others as dwelling unit. Is this can be under private dwelling or
No,
follow occupation at ground floor?
follow occupation at ground floor. Because our fire tariff, when the building is joined, we will always use the highest rate. Cannot use as dwelling. We will use the occupation rate.
Okay, that's
So
it. Thank you.
Okay, that's all. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find anything else. Do, 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 do. Okay, there's Ashley gave an example of a question. If total loss, no under insurance, but we will only pay the sum assured. So she went on further. Example, if the sum insured is 5 million, market value is 10 million. If insured suffer total loss, we pay 5 million. We will only pay 5 million. We won't pay 10 million. Okay. Okay, this one I think, thank you, Zuleika, for reading. If the upstairs is dwelling, downstairs is shop lot, we will use the shop lot rate, the highest rate. Whenever buildings are joined, we will use the highest rate, okay? That's all I think. Anything else, Zuleika? Nothing, I think no more,
Nope,
right?
no more.
No more. No more. That's all. They like your music very much.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, all right. Let's continue. So I hope that answers your question. I hope all is clear. Okay, now this thing about just now you saw a lot of lovely videos talking about business, SMEs, and the type of risks that they can encounter. All right, okay, business interruption. Uh, a lot of times, remember just now this morning I was talking to you about cross-selling and upselling. A lot of our customers, what they do is they buy fire insurance, but they forget to buy business interruption. So if the building catches fire or the factory catches fire and you get burned, the business will stop. So of course, burnt already, right? So when the business stop, they will actually lose their profit. So if your customers already have got fire with you, you should recommend business interruption to them because the fire policy will only pay for the fire damage to the factory, to the building, to machines, whatever, or the stock. But the loss of profit, they must buy business interruption. Because always when there's a fire, you obviously will have loss of income, right? Okay. So without the business interruption coverage, when a fire stops, halts production, the loss of profit will cripple operations, especially with people who have got a tight cash flow problem. So we have got to be, we got to try to cross-sell or upsell business interruption, which is a very important class. Okay, now customers normally ask this question, right? Why claims get delayed or rejected? Very common question. I'm sure you have heard this many a time. Not all claims are denied due to policy exclusion. So this morning I shared with you the motto, intoxication driving, and then I shared with you PA suicide, right? Because it's an exclusion. So not all the time claims are rejected because there's an exclusion. In many cases, because the problem lies missing records, they don't keep their records properly, or poor communication between the customer and us. So some examples that we can talk about communication is like the questions you asked me. What happens if upstairs is dwelling, downstairs is commercial? So how, if we put as commercial and we charge the wrong rate, client doesn't know. So when there's a claim, we won't pay. So that's why we also ourselves have to be updated and got to be very careful. Some business owners fail to maintain proper documentation. So when they want to make a claim, they cannot give us the correct records. The records or their document that they give us are incomplete or inconsistent, then this can delay the claims process. So these are things you don't always try to tell your client when they have a claim, You must try to tell them upfront why claims get delayed or rejected, because documentation is not in order. Because we are, as insurers, are answerable. If there's no proper documentation, we cannot pay claims. All right, so that's why please tell your client the reason why your claims can get delayed or rejected. Okay, and then sometimes if the claim is big, of course, we'll appoint an adjuster. Some of these customers, they don't like to talk to adjusters. They feel that the adjusters there are to find fault and reduce the claim. So we must tell our client, if an adjuster comes, please call them and let them know we are appointing an adjuster. An adjuster will be coming to look at your property. So tell them not to avoid engaging with loss adjusters. The process, the claim cannot be payable without the adjuster first assessing the loss amount. Worse still, a small minority of customers may attempt to falsify documents to support their claim. A serious mistake that can lead to full rejection. Fraudulent claims. They try to falsify documents to make fraudulent claim. And that will make the matter even worse. The claim becomes a fraudulent claim and it's not payable. So these are things you need to share with clients upfront. Okay. Now, Berjaya Sompo will normally offer practical guidance to prevent these pitfalls. So that means they do call the client and tell the client and talk to the client. So you also must do that. Tell the client to keep organized and accurate records at all times. Notify the insurer immediately after a loss. Engage openly with appointed adjuster and provide truthful details. If certain documents are unavailable, communicate early with the insurer to find acceptable alternatives. Sometimes we can ask them to go and get new documents, alternative documents. So these are things that Berjaya Sompo is very good at all this already. They're already doing all these things, but you as our business partners should also do these things. Okay? All right. All right. To further enhance transparency, Berjaya Sompo has outlined the end-to-end claims process online, including turnaround time for each state. So how long the process will take. So you all, please go through this process so that you can advise the client correctly. Okay. Policyholders can track their claim status in real time via multiple platforms. So Berjaya Sompo has got the corporate website. These are platforms, technology platforms, the Sompo mobile app and agent portals. So you can tell your client to download these platforms and monitor and track down their claims if they want to. So there are platforms, especially, when the pandemic hit, a lot of insurers have come up with a lot of platforms. So it makes it easier for the client to know the status of their claims. Whether it's a claim or a policy renewal, we want customers to know exactly what's happening and when. So nowadays, you notice when you renew a policy, most insurers now will even send you a survey form to update the company, how your experience was during the process. So in that way, we benefit lah, because customers realize we do place the importance on them. So you must introduce all these platforms, to your insureds, so that they know what to do and don't get stuck in this claim. The most disappointing time for everybody is when there's a claim. Even you and I, for that matter, right? Whatever claim lah, even if you fall sick and suddenly need to go to hospital, the most disappointing moment for you is when you need to get to the hospital, right? So claims is always the daunting task for anybody. We must put ourselves in the client's shoe and be nice to them. Then we can solve this problem for ourselves, for them as well. That's how you can capture. Because word of mouth. Once you are nice, by word of mouth, they will keep telling. But Sompo is so good, they do this, they do that. So they promote. So how do you want to capture adequate SME business? If you do things correctly and you promote the business correctly. With limited time and resources, many SME owners face the daunting task of managing their financial risk when it comes to unexpected losses. Okay, if you talk about Malaysia, most of our SME customers, apart from fire, theft, now with our economy not so good, so even the theft claims are becoming more and more. If you read the news, more than often, so many places are being robbed. Every time you read, there's something that goes wrong somewhere. So that's why customers must be upfront, aware that these are the unexpected losses. Like, of the last few years, especially from the year 2021, these are all case studies I'm sharing with you now itself. I don't have to go to the last end. Like flood claims. A lot of SMEs were affected by a lot of flood claims, which they never expected will happen, but it happened. So that's why we must also start telling our clients that due to climatic change, due to weather conditions, due to so many things, they must be well aware. Okay, especially if they're going to be hit by unexpected losses, they better buy the correct insurance. That's how you capture SME business. All right. So this is why having a comprehensive insurance plan for your SME will take much of your burdens off your shoulders. So what you can do is you design the plan. Design for them what they need to buy by doing cross-selling, upselling, and giving them the right explanation. Okay, we have Berjaya Sumpo has carefully designed the plans, the flexi share and all. I'm not supposed to go through that with you, but I'll just show you essential areas providing the business. This is just to introduce you. You can later go and do it yourself. Now, the Sompo Flexi SME, it's not a major business for Berjaya Sumpo, but I just want to tell you a little bit. When you design, when your client approach you and say they want to buy insurance, you can look at these things. Not exactly the same. What are the type? Different business will need different type of insurance, So you can design the package for them and tell them what they need to buy. In that way, it will help you to capture the SME business. Okay. So your Sompo Flexi SME, I'm not supposed to be talking about much about this, but I just want you to know. It's a package cover, because once the cover is packaged, there's less hassle. So the client not necessarily must buy this cover, They can also package their own class of insurance that they want to buy. All right. So from this package that you have, you don't have to follow exactly this. This package, they got 9 coverage classes. The client can choose 3. So maybe you can just show this as a sample to your client and say, these are the type of insurances. What do you need for your business? Then you can design the package for specifically for that SME. Yeah? Option to customize coverages depending on the client's business need. Different client got different volume, different size, different type of risk. Remember just now when Zulaika shared some videos with you? We started from the steep breakfast stall right up to high-end business, and that are all SMEs. So different customers of yours will need different type of insurance. So you recommend to them. Right. We must make sure when we recommend the classes of insurance to them, it fulfill their requirement. That is important. Okay. Quick and seamless enrollment with simple on pre-boarding process. So when they want to buy, straight away, introduce them to the product and get them to sign. If your explanation is good, if you can tell them correctly, then it will be easy. Okay. All right. Now, this is your SME package. It's not that I want to go through this package in detail with you, but I just want to highlight some things here. Maybe next time when your client needs to buy products for his business, you can go something along these lines. So this one, your Sompo Flexi SME. I don't know how this product is growing, but it's anyway just knowledge only for you to understand. Okay, so this product, they have got money. Most businesses need money insurance if they're dealing with money, right? Take the money to the bank, bring the money is stolen from the outlet or from the business, whatever. Then nowadays, some might need fidelity guarantee where the staff manipulate, steal company stock and money. Some know, some not. So they have given you two plans here. You can talk to your client and tell them, see what they want. It could be slightly different. There will be some coverages here they don't want, Like showrooms, sometimes they want to cover the glass. Other businesses might not want glass cover. They got no glass. Okay. Public liability. If there are a lot of third parties coming to their premises, like just now when we saw the video on the shop, selling the garments, the nice garments, those kind of businesses, if you have, they definitely need public liability because there are a lot of people who will be coming in and out of their shop to buy and they can get injured, right? So you might want to propose that to them. Not every class they will need, no. So you can actually look at the business, understand the business. This is just a sample for you to see. Yeah. Then employers liability. Malaysia, usually we don't sell employers liability because we got SOXO. But foreign companies that open business because in their country it might be compulsory, they might want to buy. That means if the employee sues the employer for negligence, and then the policy will cover. Right, burglary. I think burglary, any SME any SME in Malaysia will need burglary insurance. Because there's so many thefts nowadays. So many, because our economy is not good and people are making use, apart from scammers, scammers is not under burglary, but I'm just telling you, there's so much of theft going on in the market. Then all risks, not everybody needs all risk cover. All risk will cover 3 perils: fire, theft, accidental damage. So if you're already buying fire, you're already buying theft, you're already buying accidental damage, then you don't need all risk. Or you can forego theft, burglary, you can buy all risk also okay. It covers fire, theft, and risk. So that's why I'm going through this is not because I want to teach you the product, but I want you to understand the type of products that clients will need. All right. So this package product that Bajaj Sopo has, it got 3. Client can choose which one they want. They got plan A, plan B, and they got a flexible plan where the client can adjust the sum assured accordingly. All right. Okay. Equipment, plan A not covered for 30,000. Plan B, the maximum they can cover is only 50,000. You don't have to sell this exact plan. You can recommend, right? Then it's very common nowadays to buy as a staff benefit, group personal accident for the staff. I think this one, most businesses who have employees, medical and group PA are two covers that you should sell because it is a way of retaining staff. It is also beneficial to the insured. But you can just put these products down, let your client know what type of product you want to buy, and design a package that will suit their need. That is one way of capturing SME business. One way in which you can capture SME business. So there is this package that you have. You don't worry too much about the premium, but the premium is already given them. So roughly, imagine if you're an enterprise and you have to pay a premium of, even if 1,002 a year, it becomes your expenses, right, for tax deduction. So why don't you recommend? This is one way you can capture the SME business. This becomes their expenses, and they can use this to reduce their taxes. So that is how you promote. That is how you capture the SME. This is just a sample. I'm not saying that you must sell this product, but this is a sample to guide you on how you can capture your SME business. Okay? Any questions? Anyone got any questions to ask or okay?
Got
Yes, what's the question?
from Crystal O. She asked about the employment liability. So if let's say SOCSO already paid out, right? So will the employer's liability will be paid out as well?
No, only one. If SOCSO is already paying, then your EL policy will not pay. Because then you're making money out of insurance. You cannot make money out of insurance. Unless it is death. Bodily injury, no. Unless it is death. Then yes, both can pay. But for employer's liability, sorry, whose question is Crystal? For employer's liability, the employee must prove that the employer is negligent to successfully make a claim. So they have to go to court. Does that answer your question, Crystal? Okay, then Jimmy has got a question here. Joint building strata title with different owner and occupier. The residential or office occupying unit still apply commercial rating? Yes. Because if you're talking about residential condominium, then the management committee will have to buy house owners, householders, reinstatement value. It's different. Commercial property is commercial. It will become under commercial risk if it's business. If it's residential, then you will go under the strata title. Different owner, yes. Different occupier, yes. But the management committees under the Strata Title Act is required to buy insurance for the whole condominium. And then for the individual owners, the management committee will give a certificate each. Yes, I hope that answers your question, Jimmy. There's one more question here from Wong Chun Seong. Wong Chun Seong, my voice is okay now. Okay. Please explain details on Group PA minimum staff to be covered. Okay, Group PA, you can cover all your staff. There's no such thing as the client, the insured can choose who he wants to cover. Two staff, so two staff is better to buy individual PA cheaper than Group PA. But usually, they want to buy together as a group policy. Because the advantage of group policy is then you get better cover. You can negotiate better cover with the insurer for group PA. Individual PA means we will take 1+1. If you only got 2 employees. But if more than a few employees, then it's better to go for group PA. 2, I think you can do individual. If small company, But if the small company say, no, we want to buy Group PA because we got our director, we got our managers, we got our 2 staff or 3 staff, we got our cleaner, then you can buy Group PA, no problem. Doesn't matter about the sum assured. Sum assured is based on their salary. Well, the sum assured that we give for PA is based on their income. It cannot be more than certain amount of your salary. Maximum is, if I'm not wrong, last time was 36 months of their salary for death and permanent disability. So you cannot give more than that. But of course, directors, all they buy in the millions. Can be Group A. As long as you have got more than one staff, you can combine and buy together as Group A. Okay. Premium, depending on the occupation, my dear. You know our PA, when we charge premium, no, if they are buying in the package together, your question here, Wong, if they are buying here together in the package, then what we will do is, this is what we will do. Example, you said, okay, the client tells you, Wong, I got 2 clients. I got only 4 staff. I want to buy Group A. So we will look at their salary. Based on their salary for 36 months, then we times the number of employees. That's how we charge. Okay, like you see here, you look at plan A.
No,
If-
Madam Chandan. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry to disturb you. Oh, okay.
No,
Actually, my
no.
question is Plan A, because I'm confused. Plan A, you see, Group BA 180K. Then 15K
1,000 per person.
per 12 packs. It means 12 person. So if let's say my staff only 4 or 2 staff, how? I better don't buy this plan.
Don't buy this package. Buy separate. Yes, correct. Buy separate.
No, but I like the up one, the like section A to H I want. The I
You
don't
can
want,
choose
can or
what?
not?
You can choose what? Remember the slide before this? Let me show you the slide before this. Okay, you can choose any 3 plans within the 9 coverage. You don't have to choose, you don't have to take all the coverage. You know why? Some business, like I told you just now, they got no glass. So they won't buy C. They can choose what they want to buy. They don't have to buy all the 9, They can choose what they want to buy. Understand? So if let's say my business, it's not a showroom or anything, I don't have glass. What for I buy glass? So if you're my agent, I tell you I want A, money, I want B, I want D, I don't want E, I want F, I don't want G, or I want H, then I want to buy Group PA, I want to buy medical. Okay. They can choose. They can choose which one they want out of this coverage. Not necessary if I want to buy this cover, I must buy the all, No. Different one. Some people are less staff. Some people don't need that kind of coverage. So they can choose. There's no restriction on this package to say you must buy all the 9. In fact, you got money, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So it doesn't say you need to buy all the 9. Then choose which one you want. Okay, does that answer your question? Or you still got question? Ask. Don't worry, ask. You ask me the same
What
question.
happens if let's say I need, instead of 9 option, I need more than 3, or let's say I need 7. So how to count the premium?
According to the 7, you choose and then according to your submission, you choose which 7 you want, you tell me. Okay, let's say I'm your agent now. You say, Sharon, I want money. I don't want fidelity guarantee. I don't want glass. I want public liability because I got a lot of customers coming to my premises. I want employer's liability because I'm scared if my employee gets injured while working or get disease. I want burglary. I don't want all risk. I want equipment. I want Group PA. I want medical expenses. You just tell me which one you want. Then we go accordingly. Then we calculate the premium. But usually, tell you, this kind of package, the client always wants all the 9 lah. But sometimes there's no necessity, you see. If I want to buy glass, if I don't know, I'm not a showroom, I don't have glass. Isn't it? So it's not the client can choose. So they can, you see the third one, the flexible plan. They can choose which one they want, which one they don't want. But if they say, I want plan A, I want plan A, that means they want all this, according to this. If they say, no, I don't want plan A, I want plan B, then it's according to this. Or they say, no, I want a flexible plan. Some I want, some I don't want. Even the sum insured, I don't want, like you look at employer's liability or public liability here. You got 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. Maybe I say I want 3 million. Can also. So we will recalculate the whole thing for you under the flexible plan. That's why we purposely put a flexible plan there. So the client can opt. But some customers, they'll come to you say, you just give me plan A, I want everything that's under plan A. Also got. So it depends. But also at the end of the day, when the risk comes to our underwriter also must decide whether they want to give based on the occupation or not, right? Okay. I hope I've been clear enough to you.
Good, thank you.
Welcome. I see there's something in the chat box. Let me see whether I've got any other something in the chat box still. Yeah, I think someone might have. No. Nothing in the chat box. Group PA will be optional. The client can buy, but the premium we charge will be based on the occupation of the organization. So this one, there will be some variation in premium depending on the risk also. Okay. All right. So that's how we look at it. The client can choose. Sometimes some businesses, they don't deal with cash at all, right? Nowadays, most businesses, this scan QR code why you think they're moving to QR code and all the reason why most businesses are moving to QR code, and some are not even using debit cards at all now because they don't want cash, because a lot of cash is being stolen. You see, even government departments now they don't take cash anymore, They prefer you to either use their whatever QR code or touch and go or debit cards, because sometimes when they use cash, there tends to be a lot of loss of cash. That's the reason why they're changing the method of payment. So that's why some businesses, those days, any business also, they definitely buy money in transit, money in premises. No? They don't keep money. They prefer cashless, safer. You see, even government hospitals, if you go now, if you're required to pay for medical, whatever, admin charge, they all want cards. They don't want cash anymore. They don't want the cashiers to collect cash anymore. I'm sure there'll be a lot of money going missing. That's why I'm thinking to myself. Okay, does that answer your question? Was it Wong or Tan? Wong, isn't it? Okay. Hello. All right. Anyone? Anything else? Can I move on? At least give me a emotion lah. Give me an emoji lah. Yo, boleh ke tak boleh? Anybody got any questions before I move on? All good, It's okay. You can always, if you this package, if you're really thinking of selling this package, you want to know more, you can always talk to your marketing head, Wong. Okay, or you can even talk to your underwriters, but they'll be more than happy to assist you. Okay, because I think when I was talking to Zuleika on this training, the purpose of this training is not product. The purpose of this training is more on how to capture SME, right? So that's why I don't want to talk too much about product. I want to talk about how to capture SMEs. That is more important. Okay. So they said all sections except H equipment are compulsory for plan A and B, whereas minimum 2 sections must be selected. So you see, remember Wong, plan A, B, you select, you take what is in plan A, what's in plan B. But if you don't want what is in plan A and B, you want to select, then you go to the third category, which is flexible. Then you can choose what you want, what you don't want. All right. Of course, you all know that Berjaya Sopo is a member of PIDM. So if I'm not going to talk about PIDM here anyway, if anything happens, nothing will happen. Don't worry. You can, if the insurer becomes insolvent, I'm sure you all know about PIDM, because this is found in your, why I put this here is because it is found in your product disclosure sheet. So I thought, why not I just tell you a little bit about PIDM. Okay, the purpose of PIDM being there is if the company becomes bankrupt, insolvent, and you still have claims that are pending, not paid, or you want to make a claim, you have to go to PIDM. So those of you who want to know more about PIDM, you can always log on to this www.pidm.gov.my and look at what is covered and what PIDM will pay. So they will take over the claim and they'll process the claim. But don't worry, Berjaya Sompo won't close down, won't become bankrupt. Just example. Because it was there, I thought I'll just show. So when you buy the policy, once you have bought the policy, you as our business partners, I don't like to call you all intermediaries now, you're our business partners, because we do business together. You must please go to the policy, and if you find there's a warranty that the client must follow, please let the client know. Otherwise, we got a problem when there's a claim. That's what we do. Okay. I think I've told you the difference between upselling and cross-selling just now. Upselling, recommend better cover. Cross-selling, recommend another cover. Like just now when I talk about fire, I said a lot of customers will buy fire but won't buy BI. So you can do upselling by recommending business interruption to them. All right. If you're selling burglary, you might sell theft policy to them. Then maybe you want to sell all risks as well. So you cross-sell, you sell an additional cover to them. So that is the difference between upselling and cross-selling. Both these categories of SMEs are your customers already. You are just trying to capture more of their market. Because sometimes as customers, they don't really understand what are the risks that their business can encounter. So our job is to, how do we capture? Is to do upselling and cross-selling by telling them what they need to buy or what they need to buy. Okay? All right? Okay. Okay. Okay, this one also I'm just going to go through quickly. Not really promoting Flexi SME, but just go through. Sompo Flexi SME is a comprehensive package. Comprehensive means good lah, very wide cover. And especially designed if you are doing upselling or cross-selling for fire policyholders, aiming to provide additional protection for their property against losses due to the covered events, which I've shown you just now, money, fidelity, graras, and all. I don't need to talk about that again, but If you want to understand a bit more about that, please talk to your marketeers. They'll be more than happy to explain to you all. Okay. Now, so for illustration purposes, I already showed you just now. So for plan A, this is the limits. Medical expenses, 300 per pax, not enough lah. Now medical expenses very high. So maybe that's why they will not want, they will choose the flexible plan. Because 300 we got enough medical, not enough. Okay. So it's the medical cover. That's why sometimes we prefer them to buy separately. Either cover. Later, I got a quiz for you all on this. From my experience in this industry, I also used to do sales a long time ago. When I was doing, when I was working in this industry, our agents, they sometimes don't like to sell package policy. Got reason why. I will share with you why later. They prefer to sell individual risk. Later, I share with you all. When I have a quiz for you all, later I will share with you all. Okay. Now, exclusions. Whenever you sell a product, not only Flexi, SME or whatever, any product, please look at exclusions. If you don't tell the client what is excluded, not covered, you know when you have problem? After you got a claim. We don't want reputation. It affects the reputation of purchase to go, which we don't want. Okay, so normal exclusions, nuclear energy risk exclusion, anything to do with nuclear risk, property, cyber, and data exclusion. Nowadays, there are a lot of cyber theft, which we don't cover. War and terrorism exclusion. However, some policies nowadays, because Malaysia is not so prone to terrorism, so sometimes we do cover terrorism, limited cover, but pay additional premium. All right. But most policies after WTC 911, we don't cover terrorism. All right. Okay. Equipment coverage, 30,000, not very big amount. So maybe they want to buy a separate policy. The sum insured is not adequate. Duration for this policy is 1 year. But don't forget, now I told you how important it is to review the policy throughout the period. But they have to renew the policy annually. Easy one premium. You need to, one stamp duty, $10. But SST must pay now 8%. So please tell your client all these things. Okay. All right, this one covered. Now, other key areas on Sompo SME. The client, this one is important. Although I know I'm not supposed to cover product, but please make sure that your client, when they are giving us the proposal form or the information, they must disclose truthfully about the risk. Because if they don't tell us the truth about the occupation or the construction or whatever, or the equipment or whatever, then we might reject the claim. We don't want to have problem with our clients, especially our SMEs, during claim. That is the main problem we are having in this industry. We don't want that. All right. So any changes to the risk halfway? Like remember just now I gave you example of residential and Airbnb. They must let us know. Because we must then pass endorsement, rectify the policy, and charge the additional premium. When they fill up the proposal form, make sure they fill it up correctly. Any changes to the risk, they cannot over the phone know. Any changes to the risk, they must always give us it writing. Because for record, remember just I told you how important records are? I'm sure you know what's excess deductible. The first portion of the claim that the client has to bear. Please let them know. This amount of claim, below this amount we don't pay. Only above this amount we will pay. In that way, they will also become more careful in their risks and better for us, better for them. Don't suffer loss. Now, this policy is subject to premium warranty, non-motor, 60 days. Premium must be paid within 60 days. If the premium is not paid within 60 days, the policy can be automatically cancelled. And if let's say they cancel after they didn't pay 60 days, we cancel the policy, we will still charge them pro rata premium for 60 days and refund the balance to them. So this one, I think you all know, I don't need to explain to you, premium warranty. Yeah? Okay, premium can be paid. Check, debit card, credit card, or online payment, whichever is applicable. So Berjaya Sumpo is flexible. The client can pay using any of these methods. And also tell the client, once they pay the premium, please keep the receipt as proof of claim payment. If you don't keep the receipt later, you want to argue, it's a bit difficult. Okay. Policy renewal, depending on the circumstances of the loss or claims made during the term of policy. If there are changes, like just now I told you, remember, the house owner changed to Airbnb, changed to saloon, or saloon high risk because got chemicals, and also we might decline the risk. So if they make any changes to the risk during the period, we have a right to not invite renewal. We don't have to renew every risk, right? Okay, whenever there's a claim under the claims notification condition in the policy, the client must inform us immediately in writing about the claim. All right, also tell the client, this is just a gist of it. You can, if you want to read more, you can read the policy more. And maybe you want to explain more to the client because the policy will have more list of terms, conditions. Okay, of course, the first time for you to sell this product and explain will take a bit of time because first time you're looking at the policy. But continuously as you're doing, you will be very flexible with it. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's as far as I'm talking about capture secrets on how to capture SME risk. Now, before I move on to some quiz that I've done for you all, and I want to do some case studies share with you all. Do you have any questions? Anyone wants to ask me anything? Please feel free to ask me anything. I see something in the chat box. Let me see what it is. No, I think it's just about attendance. Make sure you all don't forget to mark your attendance. Otherwise, no CPD points. Don't blame me. Don't blame anybody for that matter. That's all I think. Zulaika is just making sure that you fill in all your attendance. Don't forget to fill in. Zulaika, ada evaluation tak? Tak ada.
Got later at the end of the session. Sharon, have you answered the queries from the agents on the building? Got
Which one?
Jimmy's question.
Jimmy asked me on construct one. Oh, what question did Jimmy ask me? Can you read the question for me? Jimmy, can you talk to me? What's your question, Jimmy?
Yeah, can you unmute yourself and just ask your questions away?
Yeah, Jimmy, please come. What's your question? Are you there, Jimmy? Yes. Where are you? Oh, I didn't see any Jimmy's question. I know they've asked me about the occupancy of your building, high risk and low residential. But that's all I saw. I didn't see anything else. Jimmy, what's your question, Jimmy?
I guess that's it, good. The building.
The one answered already.
Okay, all right.
What happened to Jimmy? He's missing.
No mic,
okay.
Okay.
No mic. Yeah, sometimes that's a problem with online training. Yeah? One day I must come to your place, so like I do face-to-face training. The problem with face-to-face training is such a big group, susah sikit lah kan. And like one thing good about online training is people from anywhere can join. But if you're just having a small session, maybe we can. I've not been to your building for a long time. You are still in the same building, right? Opposite the Renaissance Hotel, right?
Yes, we are still here.
We
can do physical. Let's talk about it later lah. Okay, I guess all the agents here would want to have a physical session also, right?
Yeah, I'm sure lah, but Because Liberty now is asking me for some physical sessions. I say, I really don't like to do physical sessions, but on offline, or sometimes it's nice to see people face to face, huh? Better also lah, but see lah later lah, no hurry. Huh? Okay, all right. So let's move on to quiz. This is to test your knowledge. Huh? Okay. Anyone can answer. Please unmute and talk to me, or you can put in the chat box. Huh? What is your opinion in the development of SME business products by Berjaya Support? You all, does it benefit you in terms of sales?
Sharon, is this a quiz or opinion?
I'm reading, then they answer. Then they'll answer me whether they're choosing first one, second one, or third one, or all. What is your opinion? Tell me. They can tell me, oh, I think only my opinion is it improved my sales. Or they can tell me, because it improved my sales, got impact on my income. That is true, huh? Then the third one. Do you prefer selling individual policies, like just now when Wong was talking to me, as compared to packages? What is your opinion? You can put in the chat box, or you can just unmute and talk to me. Okay, if not, I will pick. I pick and ask you all answer me. I got your names here, you know. I got a lot of your names here. Okay, now, let me ask you this question. Let's look at, the problem is I don't know whether you're there. Wong, okay, let me go to Wong. Wong, since you've been talking to me, does it benefit you in terms of sales, SME product? Yes or no?
Yes, of course. Package is more simple and less manual work lah. And proposal and renewal the time lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I still have some question. Nevertheless, regarding the premium, let's say just now you mentioned option flexi maybe later I ask my marketer
ask your marketing.
Yeah. Okay.
Flexi will depend on the occupation and the sum assured that they choose, because it's flexible one. So the one you talk to your marketer. Thanks, Wong. Okay, can I talk to do I have who is here? Vicky, are you here? Vicky, are you here with us? I know you logged in this morning. Yes or no? No, I don't think you're there. I saw also KH Liu. Now, anyone in general, does, if you, like what Wong said just now, it's easier to sell. That means there's one way you can capture your SME easily. Will it have an impact on your income? Yes or no? Your income is your commissions lah. Yes or no? What do you think? Will it affect your income if you like the package products? Jimmy, you're there, Jimmy? Are you there, Jimmy? Oh, the problem is my problem sometimes. Okay, never mind. I tell you what, Zulaika, you can send this to them and ask them to give us their feedback. Then I will look at the feedback.
There are some of them who answered in the chat box, and also there's question for you there as well.
Okay, let me see. Let me go to the chat box. Okay. 1 and 2, of course, yes. This is what Crystal says. With third gives us more options to make our sales more flexible. You're very right, Crystal. You know why? Because when I told you last time I was in this industry, I also was doing sales. A lot of agents used to tell this the same thing that you're saying, Crystal. We prefer to sell individual policies because, you know why? In that sense, you can increase the sum insured, you can vary. Sometimes they say they earn more commission by doing individual. That's why they don't like to sell package. Actually, very true, Crystal, what you say, very true. Of course, 1 and 2, yes lah. But like what Wong was saying just now, it's easier. Everything is there. But yes, P5 capital management, thank you. But he also said that easier, less hassle, which is true. Okay, Ashley Sia. Ashley Sia, any comments? Nothing. Sorry, Ashley. You want to say something, Ashley? All right. I think PIFA, capital management, also agree with all what is said. Benefits and higher commission. But yet, there are people who prefer to sell individual as compared to package. Yes. Okay, so Ling Junping says, prefer selling package. All right. If the premium is good lah, then you earn more commission. Yes. And package easier to sell, you know why? Because less explanation required. It's all there in black and white. So it's easier. Yes, yes, Crystal. True. Very true. Okay, thank you. So many of you have given me answers, which I'm very grateful to. All right. But it's okay if you later want to comment anything. You can also pass your comments to Zulaika. She can send. We can just look at it to understand you all better. What you all prefer. Okay. Some of you will prefer selling packages. Some of you will prefer selling individual policies. So it depends. All right. So either way, you must look at what is the benefit of it, and then you can do it. Thank you for the answers, guys. Next one.
Hold on.
Next.
Have you answered Jimmy's question here?
What's Jimmy's question, dear?
In the chat box.
In the chat box. What is his question? I think I did just now. Jimmy's question is, if joint building, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read the question. Yes, I've answered that, but I'll read. If joint building, strata title, yes, I've answered this question just now. Strata title is for residential, where the condominium management committee will buy the policy. Okay. And third and fourth floor is on residential, all residential. Fourth floor, individual occupy with different occupation. No, different rating. The fourth floor will become a commercial risk. Based on the occupation, we will charge the rate. Does that answer your question, Jimmy? So it will two different rates. Cannot use same rate. Cannot. Will be two different rates.
Madam Chandran,
Yeah.
can we, instead of we buy, we choose the highest risk of the building. Can we like third and fourth floor, we buy one policy, and first and second floor, we use another policy to cover? Can or not?
According to fire tariff, cannot. According to our fire tariff, cannot. You must use, if they are connected, one on top of another, you must use the highest.
What kind of connected?
Connected means joint. This one floor what? So it's joint what? It's joint, right? Floor by floor. So the highest risk is with the commercial. Let's say your commercial is, I just say let's say your commercial is hair salon. Hair salon got the highest risk. So if your hair salon got the highest risk, chemicals, it can start a fire. And if it starts a fire, it won't only affect first and second floor, it will also affect third and fourth floor. So that's why the fire tariff says you must use the highest rate. Cannot.
You mean they share the same
ladder.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
So you will go for the highest rate. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I think some of you are still very concerned about not having logged in your attendance. Don't worry. Before we finish class, Zulaika will share with you one more time. Just hold on for a while. Let's finish the Q&A first. Don't worry about your attendance. I still Zulaika knows you're here. Okay. Now, selling techniques and objection handling. Objection handling in sales is the process of addressing prospect concerns, such as price, timing on it. Some insurer will say, oh, very expensive compared to the market. Or they don't look at the coverage, and then they say, oh, now I don't want it. I will buy next year. They don't need it now. All right. So what we need to do is we must address. Pricing is sometimes our pricing might be higher or might be lower because the coverage is different. So we must explain. Timing, like just now when you saw the clips that were sent by Zulaika, the timing is if you wait, postpone, once kena fire, then gone. You don't know when the loss is going to happen. It's so unpredictable, right? So talk about the time. Why they need to buy? Because their business will be affected, right? We are talking about SMEs, right? So we must address these main concerns. Pricing, timing, and need. Don't wait until next year. All right. So the client, after we talk to them, we convince them they must build trust and we move the sale forward. Okay. Now the effective techniques when you do sales, listen carefully. Listen to the client, what he's concerned first. Active listening. Remember just now I told you, always put yourself as if you have a claim. That is called empathizing with the person. Always imagine if I were the client and I have this kind of loss, how would I feel? That is empathize. Empathize with the prospect. So then you know what the prospect wants because you put yourself in the situation. And then talk to the client. What is your concern? If your concern is about getting protection, the best protection you can get is by insurance. It's not that expensive anyway. Then remember just now we have the three options, plan A, plan B, flexible. Sometimes certain businesses, we need to provide tailored solutions. So you must understand the needs of your client. So that's how you can use some of the techniques to handle objections. Our goal to capture the SME business is to turn the no into a yes. But how can you turn the no into a yes? If only you can convince the client, our SME, that the value that we have, the benefit that we have. Of course, anything you buy, you need to pay money, right? But what is the benefit? Sometimes when people buy insurance, when they say, oh, yeah, one piece of paper only, don't know whether at the end of the day you can claim or not. But we must share examples with them where this kind of losses have happened and clients have been able to claim. So that's why, always have in your mind samples, examples of cases where there have been claims and they have been paid by Berjaya Sumpo, for example. Show them. Keep a paper cutting or whatever newspaper cutting and show them. Then they will know the value. That is how you demonstrate the value to them. Okay? Listen actively, empathize. Put yourself in their shoe. Allow the process. Yes, I'm hearing a voice. Who's that? Anything? No, huh? Okay. Allow the prospect to express their concern fully. Don't keep interrupting, when they are talking to you, don't keep interrupting. Let them talk first, and understand their perspective using phrases like, I understand your situation. When you tell someone, I understand your situation, they feel happy. Okay? Clarify, isolate, ensure you understand their objection, and determine if it is the real issue or just a smoke screen by asking, other than objection, is there any other reason that is holding you back? Sometimes they just are reluctant to spend the money, so they just are protecting themselves by saying, no lah, cannot lah, no good lah, not good enough. So that's why sometimes you have to clarify further and isolate if you want to capture the business, okay? Or the next thing is reframe the value. Shift the focus from price to value. Explaining how the product solves their specific problems, which helps justify the cost. You see, I sometimes Got people talk to me also lah. They tell me, I want to buy house owner insurance lah, but it cost me a few hundred ringgit. You know what? I might normally reframe this value. This is what I do. I always ask them. Nowadays, you go out and eat a proper dinner meal with your family. How much does it cost you? 300, 400, 500 got right, depending lah. And after that, got just one meal only. The same amount of money you can use to cover your house for 1 year. So that's how I try to reframe the value. This is how you must reframe the value to the client. It's true, isn't it? You go out and eat a dinner where got cheap now, very expensive, right? But once eaten, gone. That same amount of money, if you can buy insurance, you can protect your house for 1 year or your property for 1 year. It's not that expensive, actually. Insurance, people always think insurance is expensive. I always believe insurance is not expensive. When you make a claim, then you realize the value of it. The problem is sometimes people have never made a claim. So they don't realize the value. So in your case studies, when you share with the client, you must share examples where claims have been paid and how the problems have been resolved. Try as possible to get paper cuttings or news and keep and share with your clients. That's how you have your case studies. All right. Validate the question. Ask the question again. Ask open-ended questions to explore the root cause of their hesitation. Open-ended means don't let them give you answer yes or no. Ask them why. What is the problem? Is it too expensive? How much can you afford to pay? Maybe we reduce your cover a bit. So that's how you talk to them with open-ended questions. Leverage social proof, use data, case studies, customer testimonials to prove your solution works. Remember I told you must always keep data, case studies, customer testimonial. The customer has openly written a letter to you to say we're thankful you paid our claim. Don't just stay. Keep black and white. Show to your clients, your SMEs. Okay. Confirm resolution. Before moving on, ensure the prospect, your SME, whoever you are trying to capture, is satisfied with your answer by asking. You must ask, before you close tutup kedai, does that address your concern? Is it good enough? Or do you want me to show you something else? Give you something else? Prove to you something else? So you always reconfirm. You see, our topic for today is very different from just selling an insurance product. It's about how to capture your SME market. So how do you capture SME market? These are the ways, the steps you must take so that your client understands you better and he will not brush aside. They call it the smoke screen. Just to avoid buying, sometimes they will try to come up with excuses. We must know how to tackle those excuses. I have been in this market before. I know what it's like. All right? Maybe if you go to case study, one of their claim was rejected. Could be for a valid reason, but they are not happy. So they hold to that, like engraved in stone. This insurance company, when come to claim, they won't pay. See my claim. Then we must study that. We must ask them what happened. Exactly what happened. Then we reconfirm. Then they will understand us better. Okay? A lot of times, sometimes they say price is too high. I always believe insurance premium is not high. Even medical, a lot of clients will say medical insurance. They keep complaining to Bank Negara, right? Medical insurance, very expensive, very expensive. You think medical insurance is expensive? I don't think so. You go and get admitted in hospital with fever. One short fever will cost you 5,000, 6,000, Your premium 1 year, how much you need? People don't understand. So these are examples that we need to share with them. Nowadays, you go for appendix surgery, it can cost you 12,000, 15,000, 20,000, How much the premium money? So these are things that you need to keep and share examples with them. Then they will come and tell you, actually true, not that expensive. So price is too high. Okay, if they say the price is too high, ask them, how much can they afford? We will give you a cover according to how much you can afford. Let us know. Then they got no choice but to tell you a price, right? Instead of just don't want to buy, giving that as an excuse. Then we tell them, we already have got a solution for you. Ask about their current setup, what type of business they're doing, and explore potential gaps on areas where your solution can offer improvements. So what type of business are you doing? What is the main risk you have? Where are you located? I can give you a cover. I can design a cover for you that will suit your needs within a very reasonable premium. Okay? All right? Sometimes the client will tell you, no time, too busy. We have to respect people's time, right? So maybe give them a brief, high-value alternative, arrange a meeting when they are a bit more free, or you say, okay, I give you an email. You go through. If you want more questions, you just send to me. Sometimes the client will tell you, I need to think about it. Normal. Whenever you sell insurance, and this is a normal question, they say, I need to think about it. Try to pinpoint what they need to think about by asking, what part of this still is unclear? Because sometimes they have hidden concerns. They also don't dare to ask you. So that's why you tell them which part of this is unclear. Let me know. I will explain to you better. All right. These are some of the ways in which we handle objections and techniques. Okay. Key tips: don't argue. Never argue with your client. The aim is to partner with the client, your SME, not to prove them wrong. So don't argue. Okay. And before we even go to see the client, we must be ready. Anticipate objections. Address common concerns before they even bring them up, as described in the article. There's an article from AUMA, which says, before they even raise we already know, as insurers, we know what are the majority. One is price. One is coverage. One is claim take too long to pay. These are things that we must be prepared to answer. All right. Always don't get angry when the client throw back too much at you. Stay calm and confident. Okay. Because if we become aggressive and not calm and confident, the client that you have, how to capture your objection can build or destroy the trust. Do you want to do that? No, right? The idea today we came for these 3 hours, which I am very grateful all of you had faithfully sit through these 3 hours. Thank you so much. All right, it's not 3 hours yet, just hold on for a while. But we want the customer to trust us, build confidence in us, and relook at what their decisions. That's the most important thing. Okay, so a quick one, this one, just to let you know what ISM is. Most of you know what ISM is. I think the video clips that Zulaika just now showed were very good. SMEs are defined by annual sales turnover smaller or full-time employee count, typically involving, of course, they're all registered companies with SSM. And they normally adhere to the Employment Act 1955 and compliance with Income Tax Act 1967. All right. They normally will do their registered companies. They will cover financial reporting, tax filing, environmental regulations, and they got specific sector licenses. They must. That's why what we are trying to tell you is, don't simply go and insure business that is not registered. Then you've got a problem when it comes to claim. Now make sure the business are registered. All right. So in Malaysia, SME classification in Malaysia, small, if they're very small, micro, their sales turnover is employees, not more than 300,000, 5 employees. Considered as very small. Small manufacturing industry usually sales 300K, okay, all within the range of employees 15 million or 5 to 75 employees. Services, they can be in sales, they can be in retail, whatever, it doesn't matter. That this type of businesses will fall under SMEs. Medium SMEs, sales 15 million to 50 million, 15 million to 50 million. Don't have to be exactly this figure. This I just want to give you a gist of it only. Don't go and say, oh, no. The day when I attended Sharon's training, she said, must do. No need. Okay. All right. Okay. So you don't really have to look at this. Just giving you an idea of what SMEs are. Okay. All right. Handling objections. These are the normal objections you will have. Okay. Number one, product objection. Your product not good enough. Doesn't cover what I want. Source objection. I prefer to buy from broker. Agent don't explain enough. Price, too expensive. Sometimes they'll tell you it's too expensive, sometimes they're too cheap. Okay. Or stalling objection. Stalling, I'm going to share these examples. Yes, TW, can you please, thank you so much. All right. Okay, so I just give you these examples of these few objections. Product objection. Okay, if you look at this, which of the following is an example of product objection by a customer? You can go back and do this on your own also if you want to. Not the product that meets the need of the market. Nowadays, the market don't like this product anymore. We don't want it. Not suitable. Right? Too expensive. No difference. You are not the only insurer who is selling the product. Why must I buy from you? Other insurers have got the same product. The market got better products. Maybe they will tell you that also. Normally, this is what I want you to, why I'm giving you this, because I want you to be prepared when you are going to handle clients. This is the normal issues they have on product objection. So you prepare yourself before you go to see the client. Now, source objection, also got, all right. After the pandemic, especially during the pandemic, we have been selling a lot of our products online. Facebook lah, Instagram lah, SMS lah, WhatsApp, and a lot of platforms. So sometimes the client will say, your product only sold online, not clear. That's why you notice when you go to Facebook, if there are companies that promote the product, they always say, you please call, refer back to the branch if you're not clear, or somebody's name will be given there for you to refer back. So sometimes that's why that will be their complaint. Source, where it's coming from. Not suitable. The product that you have is only for small business. My business is too big for that. You only got for individual retail risk. So, or it would be more comprehensive if sold by a broker. We prefer to buy from a broker. Why your product don't sell through broker? Because broker more professional can explain better. This is just objections. Or the product you're selling is so common in the market. Everywhere also can buy. Why must buy from you? Why I'm giving you these examples is because I want you to prepare yourself before you go and talk to the client. Okay? So this will be the normal source objections. Price objection. Too cheap also they don't like, because they say if your product is too cheap, it's not good. That's why it's so cheap. Not enough coverage. Too expensive also they will complain. Too expensive, I cannot afford. Try to design a product for them that's cheaper. So they say not affordable. I cannot afford. So I don't want to buy. Or your price is unreasonable. So when we go to see our clients, and we want to capture the SME market, we must be prepared to give answers to these reasons. Okay? Too cheap also no good. Too expensive also no good. Not affordable also cannot. Unreasonable also cannot. So client can give any of these reasons, So you please be prepared to give an answer to any of these reasons. Okay? Stalling objection. I thought this was very interesting, so I elaborated a little bit more on this. Which of the following is an example of stalling objection? A stalling objection is very vague, a very polite delay tactic, such as, I need to think about it. Number of times, your client want to wait, want to ask you to stop, stalling, they will give you these excuses. Okay? Or they will just tell you, I'm not ready for it yet. Can you send me more information? Used by prospects to avoid committing, rather than a specific issue like price or need. So they don't want to buy yet. They're not ready for it yet. So they say, send me more information. Then you mustn't, remember I told you, be calm. But like, yes, I will. Can I have your email address? I will forward the information to you. You take your time and you decide. We must be very polite and calm. Unlike valid objections, stalls are often masked for discomfort or lack of trust. They don't trust us, requiring relationship building to uncover the true concern. So that means C1s cannot close. You must build the relationship. Customer relationship management, remember? Sometimes the client will tell you, I'm not ready for it. I will buy it when I need it. Yes, got also. Then you said, okay, please get in touch with me. This is my card. When you need it, I will call you. All right. Okay, I saw something in the chat box. Let me see. No, I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, evaluation calculator. All right. Okay, so let me finish this and then you can go to. Okay. Then sometimes another example of stalling objections will be, I need to think about it. Run this by my team. They will ask you to talk to their maybe department or the team. Can you send me some information? We are too busy right now. Call me back next quarter. Also got, I need to do more research. The client will tell us they want to do more research and see what other products are available in the market. Or they will just tell you, for now, we don't need. We are fine with what we have. So possible. Okay. All right. That is as far as objections. There are 5 main types of objections, which I want you to prepare before you go and see your client. Be ready for it. Okay, case studies. Normal case studies from what I have encountered is insurance premium is very expensive. So why they say that is because why your premium increase every 3 years, like medical risk, why the premiums go up? And sometimes they got doubts about the coverage. Especially like now with medical co-payment and all, they will say, why you want me to pay co-payment? So we must be able to explain to them. These objections are not rejections, but requests for more information. So how do we solve this problem? Open communication and transparent. We have to be very open in our communication and we must be transparent. Clarify the value. Take time to explain the benefits and specific results of insurance coverage so customers can understand what they are paying for. I always like to use medical, you know why? Because I think the easiest way to tell customers why they are required to pay so much is medical. Because they're all affected by it. Easiest. But you can use other products, it's up to you. Okay. Increase transparency, share a clear breakdown of how premiums are calculated and what factors influence changes, making it easier for clients to trust the process. Why is it we are charging you this premium? Like, just now, Jimmy, your question, I stay upstairs residential, I'm residential, why are you charging me this high rate? So we must be able to explain why. That's why, these are important things that you need to know. Ask questions. Engage clients by uncovering their true concerns. Talk to them. You have to talk, You have to be very, agents you have to be very talkative, isn't it? Understand their true concerns. What is the major concern? One, address them directly. Is it because it's too expensive? All right. Maybe it is expensive, yes. Maybe you reduce the limit of cover. Then we can reduce the price for you. or choose a different type of coverage. So you talk to the client. Sometimes yes, sometimes they don't buy is because it's too expensive. Okay. At time of claims, especially when there's a claim, clients always like to make comparison. Why the claim is not paid? I share one example with you. Flood claim. Flood claim. Two neighboring factories insure with different insurer. The first claimant is Encik Ahmad. Encik Ahmad submitted his claim. His claim was successful. The neighbor is Mr. Lim. Mr. Lim's claim was rejected. So Mr. Lim gets very upset. Ahmad bought from insurer A, Lim bought from insurer B. So now Lim is very annoyed. Lim says, never buy insurance from insurer B. Forever not. Why my neighbor can claim, I cannot claim? They didn't realize that Ahmad got extend to cover flat. Lim's policy never extend to cover flat, right? That's why Lim cannot claim. So what is our job? We got to study both the business and explain to them. This one very common, comparison, very common. My whole career I've seen, clients always like to make comparison between why the one can pay, why this one cannot pay. Why this one he can claim, mine I cannot claim. But they don't realize why cannot claim is because they did not buy the right car. So we must be very careful, and we cannot simply say, yours not payable, no payable lah. That's how we do business. No. Look at the actual scenario. Because you want to build trust, right? You want to capture their business, right? To capture their business, you need to build trust. How do you build trust? They must first trust you, right? They must trust your product. That is it. So please do that. Okay. So that's what I have on my side. Do you have any questions that you want to ask? Okay, never mind.